Welcome to Adrienne Ross Squared, where I square off from A to Z. I am going to get into something that I covered recently on the main channel, but I'm going to talk about something in particular. And I felt like it was more conducive to this channel right here at Adrienne Ross Squared. Those of you who follow sports and where sports and culture connect on the main channel, you know that A'ja Wilson was recently named Time Magazine's 2025 Athlete of the Year. Did a whole video, or a couple of them actually, on that, because the article wasn't just focused on celebrating A'ja Wilson. There were some jabs taken at Caitlin Clark. And I'm not going to go over all of that again, but I am going to go over a piece of it. And it is especially timely because I'm going to be covering something over there on the main channel that I just saw last night. And that is continued comments associating Caitlin Clark with something negative. That seems to be the trend. And so we're gonna get to that over on the main channel. So make sure you tune into that. Plan to do that video after I do this one. But on this one, I want to go back to A'ja Wilson's comments in the Time article and how she talked about history as it relates to Caitlin Clark. And then we got to break down for A'ja Wilson and for others who may not know how history actually works pertaining to these things. So let's go to Time Magazine again. So once again, the title of the article is A'ja Wilson is Time's 2025 Athlete of the Year. I scrolled down right to the paragraph that I want to get to. So I'm going to read this fat paragraph right here. It says, her rocket ship run comes at an opportune time. Her, meaning A'ja Wilson. Her rocket ship run comes at an opportune time. In 2024, Caitlin Clark's rookie season helped the WNBA hit milestone TV and attendance figures. But Clark's emergence created a toxic, racially divisive narrative that she was almost singularly responsible for salvaging a league whose foundation had been built by a mostly Black player base. This storyline bothered Wilson, who in 2024 earned her third WNBA MVP award and her second Olympic gold medal in Paris, where she was named tournament MVP. And here's a quote from A'ja. It wasn't a hit at me because I'm going to do me regardless. I'm going to win this MVP. I'll win a gold medal. Y'all can't shake my resume. It was more so, let's not lose the recipe. Let's not lose the history. It was erased for a minute, and I don't like that because we have tons of women that have been through the grimiest of grimy things to get the league where it is today. So let me highlight this part that I'm going to focus in on. All right. Let's not lose the history. It was erased for a minute. So A'ja Wilson let us know that she wasn't too bothered by the attention Caitlin Clark received, too bothered by the idea, they say, that Caitlin swooped in and saved the WNBA because she gonna do her anyway. But what bothered her is that history seemed to have been lost and seemed to have been erased when Caitlin Clark showed up. She didn't like it because there were all these people who busted their tails and did all this stuff. And so don't be trying to erase the recipe or the history. So when I saw that, I said, I got to talk about it. And again, came up again last night when this other clip came out on Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe's podcast, again about Caitlin Clark And again, we'll talk about that on the other channel. But let's talk about this right now. History. Supposedly, according to Asia Wilson, when Caitlin Clark entered the league, history was erased for a minute. There were other people. Here's the history lesson for all. There were always other people, whether you're talking about sports, whether you're talking about business, whether you're talking about education. It doesn't matter what you're talking about. What you have always and what you should always want is progression. And by progression, I mean you want to always be doing better. You see that in with parents, good parents. Good parents will tell you they want their children to go farther than they ever went. Now, when a child goes farther, does that mean that the history of the parent has been erased? Absolutely not. If a parent was a college student and a parent has a child who is also a college student and maybe even a better student or a more popular student or president of the student body or whatever, does that mean that celebrating that and acknowledging that is erasing history, or is it history continued? History progressing, and then others will come behind that, and then it'll be history continuing, history progressing. That's what we should want. That's not erasing. That is progression. So think about this, because I thought about this. I thought about former President Barack Obama, who, by the way, I didn't support. I don't support his policies. We're not on the same in the same wavelength in terms of what we value and what we're going to stand for and all those things. And that's fine. This is not a conversation about what policies of Barack Obama I didn't support. That's neither here nor there. I'm a conservative, enough said right there, in terms of what I believe, what I stand for politically, socially, economically, all those things. But Barack Obama showed up, and a lot of people got caught up in how historic it was for him. I never heard anyone say, because of all the excitement, and there was a lot of excitement, people were, the way people came to hear him speak, the excitement that there was, all of those things, I don't recall ever hearing anyone say that by Barack Obama showing up and having all the eyeballs and the attention on him, that he erased history. I don't recall that. Maybe you do. I don't recall any conversation about erasing history, because he didn't erase history. He added to history. It was another level of the presidency. When I say another level, I mean every president building on every president, building on every president, going way back from George Washington into however long we're going to have presidents for eternity, I guess. But it's not a matter of him erasing history. How would it have looked like if someone said, well, it bothered me that, people showed up for him because it was erasing history for a minute? It didn't erase history. It didn't change the fact that there was a president who came before him, and a president who came before him, and a president who came before him. It was simply the progression of the presidency, and that's where we were then, and we continue. Is it only in the WNBA where someone would see a player who comes in and brings the eyeballs you've always wanted, and yes, brings a whole lot of fans, and yes, I get it, could make some people feel a little bit jealous because they have been there and they haven't drawn the attention. I get it. That's your problem, though. It bothering you, is that what you want to put in your Time magazine article, that it bothered you because the very thing you always said you wanted, which was attention and appreciation, now that it's there because it came from someone else, it's not adding to history. It's not a great success that you wanted. It's It bothered me because the people who came before, like, who says that? Nobody was trying to, certainly not Caitlin, trying to deny that there was a league beforehand, but it's progression. It's what you want. It's the way it works. It's not erasing. If anything, it's just adding to. It blows my mind because why do you continue, ladies, to shoot yourself in the foot and act like the very thing that you should want is the thing that's trying to take away from you? Yeah, fans are going to be fans, and fans are going to say what they're going to say, and fans don't have to like you. But that it bothered you because it's erasing history. I just thought I'd do a little. I was an English teacher, not a history teacher. Okay. History was definitely not my best subject. But one of the things I do know is that we're all here as a part of history. I didn't erase my parents' history. They didn't erase their parents' history. Barack Obama didn't erase the history of George W. Bush. You're not erasing history. You're building on history. And that's what Caitlin Clark is doing. And my goodness, if they don't seem to want to have that stop, you talk about erasing history. I think y'all trying to erase the future. Anyway, like I said, over on the main channel, I'm going to get into some other comments that really work alongside this. Wanted to put this on the second channel just because I thought it was more conducive to the whole concept of history and presidency. So there you have it. What are your thoughts? You guys can chop it up in the comments. I think people need to get it together. I did a video over there also about insecurity. It is insecurity. No matter how many accomplishments you have, no matter how many times you tell us that you're going to be MVP and you're going to get your gold medal and you're going to da-da-da-da, and your resume is unparalleled and that. No matter what you tell us, you end up telling us that you're insecure and that you don't understand how history works. Stop fighting it. Embrace it. Hey, make sure you give this a thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm and getting it out to other people. Also, subscribe right here to Adrienne Ross Squared if you haven't done so yet. And don't forget the main channel, The Adrienne Ross Show. Subscribe over there. And like I said, I have a video coming up concerning Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe's guest and that whole conversation, once again, surrounding Caitlin Clark. I'll catch you next time, God willing. God bless you abundant.